We're streaming live on YouTube. Hi, Ann.
I hope so, in a minute.
That's what it says.
Right.
It says live on YouTube.
It's doing the work right now, so.
Hi, Ann.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Everybody's okay?
We are good.
Good. Gotta get this. Thanks again, Becky.
No problem. Happy to do it.
Okay, so it's still on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it happens on my computer. The audio comes, so everything is like delayed by a few seconds, so.
Okay. Yeah, live on YouTube.
Okay.
Good evening, Rabbi.
Hello, Ann, how are you?
Hanging in, like all of us are.
Indeed, indeed. Feeling okay?
Yeah, good.
Good.
Hello. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Alan.
You want this light on
Okay,
or off?
put it on and see. How do we look? Better with that light on or that light off?
That's good.
Does it matter?
You're looking good, Alan,
Hey,
as usual.
and you too.
Thank you.
We're all here. As long as we're here, we're looking good, right?
Right.
How are you, Rabbi?
Doing well. I'm doing well.
Yeah. Busy day?
Yeah, busy-ish, yeah. Days have actually been surprisingly busy.
You know, it's pretty amazing to me how these days just keep flying by,
Right.
even with all the lack of activity, you know? It's just incredible.
I mean, we're beyond, we're what, a month and a week now, I think it is, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been keeping track. I mean, not deep thought journaling, but just sort of what I'm doing on a given day. Like, am I walking? Am I meditating? Sort of, what am I eating? What am I going to bed? Stuff like that. And just trying to, because I after this whole thing is over, I don't want to look back and say like, what did I do with that month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever.
Time to go, yeah. Yeah. I hear you. And Becky, how are you?
I am very well, Alan. Thank you.
Good. You look a little, you look like you're somewhere else.
I am, what do you mean?
Like your head is something, you're thinking about something.
Oh, no, I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
Yeah.
See, the thing when you're on, I don't know, Alan, are you on a tablet or are you on a laptop?
Laptop.
Okay. Thing is, like, when you're really close up, you can actually still kind of do the work. If the camera's on, you can actually make it look like you're looking in and paying attention, but still doing work and stuff. So,
Sure.
like, if I want to type a message to Becky right now, I could actually do it. And the only way you know is because I'm leaning in like this. So
We're doing it a little differently tonight. Marilyn's on the other side. We switch sides.
Oh, you're, okay. You're keeping 6 feet.
We're switching it up. No, she'll just getting a cup of coffee, actually.
Okay.
Hey, John.
John,
Hello, Alan.
How are you?
I'm terrific, thanks. How are you? Hello, Rabbi. Shabbat
hello,
Shalom.
Cantor. Shabbat Shalom, John. How are you? Hello,
Couldn't be
Cantor.
better, John.
Shabbat Shalom, Alan. I mean, John.
Hello.
John.
Hello, Ann. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to you.
Nice. Cantor.
Hello.
How you doing?
Shabbat Shalom, Cantor.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Cantor.
Shabbat Shalom, man. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
How the girls doing?
They're doing good.
Good.
Yeah. They're doing well.
Here comes my better half.
Hello, Marilyn.
Get them back.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I can't hear very well.
I'll turn it up.
If I'm,
And Marilyn?
can you hear
Yes?
me? I'm a couple of feet from the screen. Can you hear me okay or not? Is it kind of soft?
Yeah, you're fine, Rabbi.
Good, I just had to turn on.
I just have bad ears, that's why.
I mean, I can also, move a little closer too, but
We turned it up.
No, you're
It's
good.
fine. It was down bar.
It was us.
That's John, yeah.
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, Marilyn.
Shabbat Shalom, John.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Everybody's so quiet. I'm tired.
It's been a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, every week is a week in this environment.
I did not say Shabbat Shalom yet to Becky Markowitz.
Hello, John. How are you today?
I am very well, thank you.
Hello,
Good.
Mendelssohn's.
John, you have a zillion employees in your company. Are you been able to hold on to them or no?
So we have done some very interesting stuff. We have not had, we have people working short time. And so instead of working 5 days a week, people are working 4 or 3. And we have asked people if they have lots of vacation to use it while they're doing short time. In Sweden, people are working pretty much half time right now. So we have not fortunately done anything where we've had to lay people off, which has been great.
That's great. Good for you. Good for your company.
Yep. We are working very hard to avoid that.
Shabbat Shalom, Dunny.
Hi, Arlene.
Hello.
Arlene.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mute it.
Alexa, pick it off that. Alexa.
So you want me to move this a little bit?
I don't want that.
No?
That's Becky.
Oh, hi, Becky.
Hi.
Hi. Here we go.
Hi, Sheldon.
Hello, Rabbi.
Hello there. Is that Dunny?
Donnie, yes.
How are you?
Shabbat Shalom, Vivian and Maurice.
I know we lost you. There we go.
Hi,
Hello,
Nana.
Jean. Hello,
Hi,
Isabel.
Isabel.
Hi, Isabel.
Hi, Isabel.
I have my biscuit.
Hi, Isabel. How are you? Good to see you. So glad you're here tonight.
There we go.
Thanks.
Oops, nothing.
Oh my goodness.
Faces at me.
Hi, Marilyn.
Shabbat Shalom.
Sheldon.
Hello.
Hello, Diana.
Can't hear me.
We're gonna sit over here. I don't need to see. No one cares about seeing us.
Maybe I might want to.
Let's see.
Back there. You want that?
Okay, no, I'm good.
Hi, Bob.
Who's that?
Hi, everybody.
Lila.
Hello.
I Cantor.
Hello.
Hey, Alan.
Hi.
Or?
They can hear
I
us now.
can't.
Or we see half your head.
Hey, look who it is. It's-
Eleanor.
Hi, Marilyn.
There we go. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Steve.
Or nowhere.
I
Hi.
like this.
Hey, Donnie.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom.
You got, I see, I like your candlesticks.
You can do it.
Chat.
Wow, I like that new edition.
You talking to me?
Stretching.
What's the new edition?
What?
What on?
I guess they're coming on.
Who said that to you?
Who said that?
Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Or?
Oh, we're going to the second screen.
Huh?
We're going to the second screen.
Hi, Marilyn and Sheldon. Hi, Ken.
Hey, I can, I Sue.
Make up so you have no-
Carolyn, hi, Sheldon.
Hello, everybody.
Somebody-
Video.
There we go.
Nice to see everyone.
Hey,
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ken. Hi, Susan.
Hello.
Third screen now.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Jean.
Janice.
Hi, Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie.
Hello.
I don't know, but it's Janice.
Loud
Who's
enough.
on the first?
Hey, Alan.
Hi.
Janice,
You seem so serious, Janice.
are you still down here?
I'm just seeing who's here.
Hello. Hi, Janice.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, John.
Hey, Linda.
Hello.
Janice,
Countdown.
quite a high school picture of you.
Count.
The one I was telling you.
Hello.
Real good.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Linda.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Mo.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Wow.
Here's Kenny.
Hello.
Hi, Cantor.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Duns.
Hi.
Hi, Linda
There
Cantor.
she was here.
Hello.
Carl, Phyllis, how are you?
It's Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Deb.
Hi, Isabel.
Hi.
Who is Isabel?
Isabel's in the.
It's
down-
Mo.
Isabel? Hello, Isabel.
Hi.
Where is Isabel, the little girl?
Isabel, who's with you?
Is that Rachel?
Yep.
Hi,
Rachel.
Oh, Rachel's daughter.
Ricky. Ricky.
Rachel.
Ricky. Is that Ricky?
Deb.
Where's Ricky?
Arlene.
Here.
Well, it's just good morning.
Okay. Not here yet. Hi, Kenny.
iPhone.
No, it's not muted.
I did up there in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we want is.
But I want to see if Ricky's.
We got 43 people.
Hello.
George,
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, wait.
how are you?
How are you?
Hi, Weiss family.
Hello.
Hello.
Tanner.
Where is
more?
Another one.
Arthur, Paul, how are you?
Oh, maybe it still has.
No one to move the chicken.
Hi there.
Okay.
Somewhere, I see you in the corner.
So now it's one.
Everybody's got a different view.
Yeah.
This is one, right?
Funny.
Great. I'm green.
Yeah.
It's an empty spot.
No, she's-
No, it's somebody's house.
Yeah. Boy, I can't believe she.
I love Jean.
Doing this tonight.
Ricky Leapskin, are you on?
I don't know where we are.
We are not in the big screen.
Mo.
Here's
Margie.
Hi, Hal and Diana.
Hi, Alan.
See you.
Hello.
Can I come back?
Can anybody tell me how to get myself not to be green?
The virtual background.
No, work for Kermit.
You have to do a virtual background.
Take off virtual background?
Yeah, put it to none.
Okay, let me see.
On settings, you have to go to virtual background.
It's in video.
I don't know where to go.
Go to video.
Please.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you on a laptop or a tablet?
iPad.
Oh, I'm not sure. So you just with the video.
Hello, Barry.
Just using a black background. So
Yeah, I'm not sure where to look.
if there's anybody who has a tablet, you can kind of help Wendy and Colombo. That'll be great because we're going to begin services. So I'm going to.
Hi, Paula.
Oh, you have a tablet, no idea to work.
Wendy,
Okey-doke. And Cantor will unmute herself.
Yep.
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
It's good to see everyone. So again, remember, just invite everyone to please mute yourselves and keep yourselves muted. However, in the comfort of your own homes, wherever you are, please lift your voices and sing loud, and maybe our voices will carry across wherever we are and come into each other's homes. It is great to be together once again, seeing just the whole array of faces on the screen. Hope everyone had a good week. Begin with a reading before a nigun. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. We begin with a nigun, a wordless melody. So if you have Shabbat candles and a Kiddush cup nearby, we're going to do candles and Kiddush. But tonight we are really pleased to be able to honor Lila Cohen and her family. Lila is going to become bat mitzvah tomorrow from the comfort and familiarity of her own home, while I sit where I am and Cantor sits where she is. And once again, we Zoom this for her family and friends. We're really grateful, Lila, that you are chosen to go through this service in this way. The Torah is at her house and it's all ready to go. And we're really thrilled to be able to celebrate and begin celebrating with you this Shabbat. So I'd like to invite Lila and her parents, Diana and Eric, and siblings, Misha and Isaac. We are on page 3 and then page 2 for the blessing, which is also corresponds to pages 120 and 123 if you have the single volume and the larger page numbers. So take it away, Cohen's. Page 3.
I don't have three.
Oh, are we missing 3?
Yes.
Sorry,
It's okay.
we go from 2 to 4 for some reason in the binder.
Do you have the prayer book there? Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? We'll do the reading and then you can, if you have the prayer book there.
Okay, we got it right here.
Okay, great. Here you go.
Right
Great.
here.
As it,
As these.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness remind us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
wherever we are, we can light our Shabbat candles.
Get a little closer to the edge of the, hold it with your fingertip, not your mouth.
Hey, bro, come on, do it. Just do it.
No, it's broke.
Ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'le'anu ad l'ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. And then as we turn to page 5 or page 123, Lila, will you lead us in Kiddush, please?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah ba'anu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzo hin hilanu zikara lema'aseh b'reishit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra kodesh zeher litziat mitzrayim Kivanu v'harta ve'otanu kidoshta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodsheha be'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen.
Amen. Behind.
And again, Mazel Tov, Lila. I look forward to celebrating with you tomorrow afternoon. And I'll invite you to mute yourselves as we continue on page 10. Maya Fehayom Shabbat Shalom. What a beautiful day this is, this Sabbath of peace. So we turn to pages 20 and 21, or pages 138 and 139. So we welcome the Sabbath brides, the words of Lecha Dodi, verses 1, 2, and 9.
Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala.
If you're able, if it's comfortable to, please rise for Baruch Hu. A bridge between Baruch Hu and Shema. As I share this reading by Rabbi Karen Kadar, begins with expansiveness and looks at nature and brings us into the essence of our values through Torah, and also what we can do being inspired by these words to become more deliberate and aware. It's called Decide. Today I decide to turn my eyes towards wonder so that I may see the expanse before me. Today I decide to see the possibility of my life so that I may open my mind to greatness. Today I will do one kindness so that my heart may become more loving. Today I will pause to consider so that my life may become more deliberate. Help me, dear God, to step firmly upon a path of consequence so that I may make my life a prayer of goodness and mercy, splendor and light. I ask for a life of meaning, a sense of purpose. Today, I decide. We close our eyes and turn inwards, declare the watchwords of our faith, Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, v'chayuto le'olam ha'vaed. We continue with Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom ha'levavecha V'shinatam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'vlechtecha b'derech, u'shochbecha u'pumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotapot bein einecha, u'chtaptam al mezuzot beitecha, u'v'yish'arecha, Leman tiskaru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, li'od lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
As the Israelites wandered from bondage in Egypt, made their way to the Sea of Reeds, made their way across the sea into the desert, into a place of expansiveness and opportunity, into the great wilderness, they came to Mount Sinai. And at Sinai, they received the gift of the law, the 10 commandments, all 613 commandments really contained therein that help guide and govern our lives. Perhaps the greatest gift of those commandments was the gift of Shabbat, the 4th commandment. And as Achad Ha'am famously taught, more than the Jewish people has kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. So we sing a prayer, the words that come from our tradition, from our Torah, the words of Vishamru, which you can find on page 44 or 162, as we celebrate this gift of Shabbat, the gift that we enjoy in freedom.
Shomeru B'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat L'Dorata Beini u'bein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Beini u'bein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz vayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinachash. Beini u'bein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Beini u'bein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. בני ישראל את השבת.
Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav writes, "O dear God, for once let me call out to you with one true prayer. Let me think one pure thought, cry one genuine cry, pray one absolutely sincere prayer to you, dear God." And for Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav, the deepest prayer that he experienced was not necessarily the prayers that came from the book, but really the prayers that came from deep within the heart as he spoke out his yearnings to God. So for our tefillah tonight, we will enter in together singing the words of Adonai Sfatai Tiftach. Afterwards, we'll give you the opportunity to pray silently. Words that come from the heart, certainly, or from our tradition, if you'd like, beginning on page 46 or 164 and going all the way through page 62. But I will also invite folks to do what we did a few weeks ago, is that as you think about your prayers tonight and think about gratitude and thanksgiving, again, one thing in this last week or 10 days or so, something new perhaps that you've been particularly thankful for, something that brought joy or meaning or purpose to lives that tend to go day by day these days, and maybe it's hard to find something new. What was that new thing, that new experience for which you want to offer thanks? And feel free, if you'd like, to type that in the chat box as we go through our time of personal prayer, silent prayer, typing prayer, whatever it may be. I'll invite Cantor Colbrenner to lead us in.
Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Upi Yagid Tehilatecha, Upi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Upi Yagid Tehilatecha, Upi Yagid Tehilatecha. lipi lepanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, ve'goali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, ve'goali. Adonai tzuri, ve'goali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, ve'goali.
A spontaneous prayer of thanksgiving inspired by the words that you wrote. Modim anachnu lach. We acknowledge, we thank you. And God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words. We give thanks for friends returning to health. We give thanks for connecting with neighbors. We give thanks for family. We give thanks for the new chefs among us and the new foods that we try and experiment with and eat. We give thanks for birthdays that we celebrate this week, Janice and Nat. For all these, we give you thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Amen. So in a time of Thanksgiving, we also have a time to pray for those in need of healing of body or mind or spirit, and especially those who we know increasing numbers who continue to either battle the coronavirus, hopefully are coming out of it, wherever they may be along that journey. We know that one in particular is very challenging. So what I'll ask folks to do is to first just type names into the chat box, and I will read all the names that come through the chat box before we sing Misha Berach. And anyone who's not able to chat, I'll just invite you just to raise your hand, and I will go through the screens quickly, and Becky can help me find those folks, and we'll make sure we call on you. But please try to use the chat feature first, and I'll share the names as they come in. We pray for God's healing presence for Randy Fair, Rhea Silberberg, Steve and Wayne Pulaski, Barbara Lieb, Paula Landau, Pat Montgomery, Sherry Miller, Annette and Mitch Eichen, Karen Levenberg, Gary Luck, Cantor Lisa Arbisser, Micah Arbisser, Cantor Rebecca Moses, Flora Day, Katrina and Dan Brannigan, Gary Nankin, Angie Lott, Saul Chernow, Ariel Hessing, Florence Ginsburg, Selma Swartz, Marnie Cohen, Ariel Novick, Dove Novick, and Deborah Porter, Nancy Cohen, Sherry Katz, Joan Foley, Mark Langman, Sally Marriott, Richard Duckin, Mark Spicer, Rita Levin, Blanche Rackety, Barbara Polanski, Donna and Sal Albanese, Jim Harper, Phil Falkowitz, Ellen and Elliot Handler, Jack Orber, Lori Weiss, Holton Weingrad, Ted Cannon, Barbara Rosenberg, Marilyn Dennenberg, Joan Woodland, Karen Trbovic, Mordechai Mayan, Michael Sachs, Karen DeMario, Fruma Heyer, Chris Pachuta, Jean Shea, Judy and Dan, Harvey Burstein. If you didn't have a chance to add a name because of the feature, just raise your hand in front of the screen so I can see it nice and clear. Yep. Barry? Thank you. Thank you.
Marnie Cohen.
Thank you. Anybody else? You can unmute yourselves and share if you'd like to, if you need to. We also add the names of those in our community for whom we continue to pray the Shabbat. I also add the names of Rabbi Sissy Koren and Rabbi Rob Nosenchuk. We pray together, page 253 or 371.
May the source of strength, who will bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Yisha Beira Imotenu Dekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah Shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
So several months ago, we had planned on having of this being one of our nights where we would chant verses of Torah and carry the Torah to the congregation, have a hakafah, etc. Actually, the Torah this Shabbat is at the Cohen's house, so I can't even carry it and show for everyone. However, I wanted to give Sheldon Halpern, who had prepared for tonight, the opportunity to just chant words of Torah that come from this week's Torah portion, Parshat Shmini. I'll be giving a short Devar Torah on this after Sheldon is done. We're not going to deal with the blessings and everything, but I will share the verses that he is reading once I can find it on my, hold on a second. Sheldon, give me one quick second. Let me see if I can find what I am looking for so we can see your words as well.
I'm unmuted.
Okay.
This is I'll show it, a Tikkun. It's a book that has, I don't know if you can see all the columns. Hey, but the Torah is written out in this book in a number of columns. The first column over here has it the way you see it in your Chumash with the vowel markings and the cantillation markings. Then the next two columns are the way it shows up in the Torah without any of those markings. Then there's one column of translation into Aramaic, and then there's a column of commentaries and explanations. Very complete book. So I'll just be reading 4 verses. V'yedaber Adonai אל אהרון לאמור, יין ושקר, אל תשת אתה ובניך איתך, ובואכם אל אוהל מועד, ולא תמותו חוקת עולם לדורותיכם, ולהבדיל בין הקודש ובין החול, ובין הטמא ובין הטהור, ולהורות את בני ישראל את כל החוקים אשר דיבר אדוני עליהם ביד משה.
Mr. Koff, Sheldon, thank you very much. And you can just see these, the translation is there on the screen. This is a warning that happens after the tragic deaths of Nadav and Abihu that happened just a few verses earlier, this admonition to drink no wine or other intoxicant when you go into your sacred service. So aside from the little bit of Kiddush wine that I might have just before, during Kiddush, it's always important that those of us who are leading are very clear-headed at these times so that we can distinguish between the sacred, profane, between the clean and the unclean, and really establish these boundaries. And as I was looking at these verses and others this week, I was drawn back to the very first couple of words in this week's parashah, called Parashat Shmini. And I want to talk about the 8th day. My friend and colleague, Rabbi Tom Alpert, shared this touching story that he read in the Boston Globe this week. Nick Advigus of Watertown, Massachusetts, who was 88, would wake up every morning, have breakfast, and head off to see Marion, his wife of 61 years, at the Marist Hill Nursing Home. He would stay with her all day. When the coronavirus hit, however, the nursing home banned visitors altogether. Now, last week, Nick's family and friends came up with an ingenious solution. With the approval of Marist Hill, they secured the loan of a truck with a bucket lift, the kind you use to trim trees or fix electric lines. Nick was raised up to the window of Marion's room, and they saw each other in person through the glass. Now, this story is touching for several reasons, but most of all for the creative solution they found for Nick and his beloved Marion to be able to see each other and to look into each other's eyes. It's what we might call an 8th day solution. Now, what do I mean by this? It connects to this week's Torah portion called Shmini. Vayehi bayom hashmini, on the 8th day, the text then continues. Now, what happened on this 8th day? After a 7-day period of isolation at the entrance to the tent of meeting, Aaron and his sons were ready to initiate formal worship. Bayom hashmini, on the 8th day. The power now was in their hands. Now, there is a discernible difference between day 7 and day 8 in the Torah and in our tradition. The 19th century scholar Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch suggests that after the counting of 7 days, which of course in the creation story was a passive experience as God did all the work, that after the counting of 7 days, that previous period is entirely closed. And with the 8th day, he writes, a new beginning is made, similar to an octave in music on a higher level. With the 8th day, those destined for priesthood step into the new elevated character of a life dedicated to God and the nation. God created the world in 7 days. The construction of the tabernacle was celebrated for 7 days. But on the 8th day, it's now on us to find, for example, creative solutions to life's challenges. For as Rabbi Harold Kushner teaches, on the 8th day, we are challenged to begin living in the day-to-day world of ordinary events, in the day-to-day world of ordinary events. However, our day-to-day these days is anything but ordinary. Nevertheless, I believe we are rising to the challenge of elevating our character and rededicating ourselves to our families, our community, our nation, and to God. We are thinking 8th day, even though we are still living in that 7-day period. We are shifting our priorities, thinking differently about the way we have lived our lives up until now, and the way we hope to live our lives once our isolation orders are lifted, and that precious commodity known as human contact can be accessed once again. We know so little about what life in the grand scheme will look like after the coronavirus. We are probably beginning to think of the first small act we would do. For most, I imagine, it will be a visit to our parents, our adult children, especially our grandchildren. Or maybe a small dinner party with close friends. I imagine the first act of return will be to enjoy a simple pleasure, a simple encounter that we once took for granted that we never will again. A trip to the beauty shop, the barber, and get our nails done perhaps. It may not involve any business or commerce, or maybe just a little bit, but it could really involve the simple pleasure of human company. Rabbi Hirsch describes the prior 7 days of Aaron and his son's isolation by the tent of meeting as a time for, quote, grasping, accepting, and adapting oneself to the abundance of thoughts and ideas and ideals, which bring meaning and purpose. Yes, we are still deep into these 7 days. And even though we have counted many, many periods of 7 since we've been at home, but nevertheless, let this not stifle our imagination of what the 8th day could be, whenever that comes, when we move up an octave and use our power to make permanent changes for the good, which may lead to adopting new priorities for ourselves, our families, our community, and our world. Let us imagine what a different type of togetherness, a celebration of slowness, and above all, generating an abundance of appreciation and gratitude could do for us all. Hopefully the time will come soon when Nick and Marion, the couple that I mentioned at the beginning of the story, will be able to sit together face to face, sitting in chairs, rather than staring at each other through a window, suspended in a bucket truck 2 stories high. In the meantime, just as they have found ways to connect, so too must we use our creativity and ingenuity, invested through the power of the 8th day after creation and consecration, to gather, connect, and be present for all of our loved ones. Yes, we are still in the 7 days of accepting and adapting. May we be ready for the 8th day whenever it comes, God willing, speedily in our own day. Shabbat Shalom. John, any words of announcements you'd like to share tonight?
Sure, and I will even share them unmuted. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is really special that we are all gathered here together on this Shabbat evening and being able to share it together with each other. A quick mazel tov again to Lila Cohen and her family, and looking forward to her bat mitzvah tomorrow. I think it's fabulous that we aren't letting things stop us from going on and celebrating our traditions. It's wonderful. Thank you, Rabbi and Cantor, for leading us so beautifully tonight. Cantor, for your beautiful voice and uplifting song, and Rabbi for giving us something to really think about, to imagine a new 8th day. It is wonderful. And a Yasher Koach to Sheldon for reading Torah for us across the internet, all the way here from Bucks County to all of our friends who are down in Florida. That's pretty wonderful that we're able to do that. I would like to point out, let me switch over on my phone to our, quickly to our virtual week ahead. Lots of opportunity for meditation and to clear our minds from all the whatever's going on as we are apart from each other, which I think is why it's so important that we are together. But I do want to point out a couple of celebrations and observations for Yom HaShoah. On Wednesday, April 22nd, Shirami's Holocaust Remembrance Day observance will be then. And then also the Jewish Federation of Greater Philadelphia will be having remembrance, hosting a remembrance online on Sunday, the 19th, 2 days from now. I'd also like to point out that we are all very much aware of the need about food insecurity and the need to keep our pantries stocked and delivering. And I want to thank Marilyn and the pantry team for defining exactly what we need in this week's letter and how we'll collect it, and watch out for more on that. That is really important for us to support our community, because the need is only getting greater, as we all know. And with that, I wish everyone a peaceful and rejuvenating Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, John. Thank you. Thank you. And again, some preliminary information about food drive and food collection was in this week's virtual email, and we'll have another dedicated flyer, I believe, coming out next week. So again, thanks for all who will participate, and the team at the food pantry who are helping to keep the most vulnerable in our community fed during these difficult times. So during this period between Passover and Shavuot, we traditionally go through this process called the counting of the Omer, in which each day, each night actually, we acknowledge that we are one day closer to Shavuot, the harvest festival, and also the day in which we commemorate the giving and receiving of Torah at Mount Sinai. I think it's a practice done in traditional Jewish circles, and certainly people who pray every night will do this. It might be a little bit less common in our Reform circles, but I think that it's nice to bring this to us, and especially in this time when counting the days and getting closer to a time of another festival can perhaps give us something to look forward to. We hope that Shavuot will coincide with either the opening up or the greatly lessening of some restrictions, if not even sooner. But it is a way just to count the days. So I'm actually going to share a reading again by Rabbi Karen Kadar, who in her book, The Omer, provides wonderful things to think about each and every day. And I recommend you can get this book online as a Kindle or ebook or whatnot. It's called The Omer, O-M-E-R, by Rabbi Karen Kadar. And she writes for this night of the Omer. This is the obligation of a religious life. We must give away our time, give away our money, and give away our kindness. Life is purposeful when we give. Change a little corner of the world. Make living a bit easier for a stranger. Place a hand upon the shoulder of your neighbor. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshan b'mitzvotah b'tzivanu, al sfirat haomer. Praise be you, Adonai our God, who rules the universe, instilling within us the holiness of mitzvot by commanding us to count the Omer. Today is the 9th day, 1 week and 2 days of the Omer, and we will count together in the weeks ahead. As we prepare to say Kaddish together, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, whose graves are unmarked, those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We also think especially of those who have died in recent weeks, who have had to be buried alone with no or very little family, friends around them in a way that is very challenging and painful. And let us remember them as we remember all. This week, we're observing the first 30 days of remembrance. Excuse me, this week we are observing the first 7 days of remembrance, the period of Shiva, for my aunt, Alice Briskin Scholler, who died last week, was buried last Sunday, died not of COVID, but was buried in a very strange and unusual funeral. We also remember those for whom we're observing Shaloshim: Jack Chesner, Gloria Kushner Slingbaum, Esther Grossman, and Jordana Baum. We also share the news that Janet Berg, the mother of longtime member Robbie Grant, passed away yesterday and will be buried on Sunday, and with the memorial service will be conducted on Sunday evening. And we remember those who died at this season in years past, whose Yortzeit will fall next week, and whom we remember by name tonight: Stephen Borofsky, Daniel Timothy Byrne, Ruth Bader Goldman, Morris Goldstein, Jack Hecht, Muriel Hochberg, Dora Carl, Seymour Clayton, Samuel Kapinski, Robert Kuttner, Leonore Levine, Stephanie Mann, Anna Paulner, Sidney H. Reese, Henry Schneider, Evelyn Skopp, Beverly Spiegler, Wendy Steinman, Emmanuel G. Topakis, Morris Benitsky, Ilya Zolotarev. If you're remembering someone and I neglected to share the name, I invite you to unmute yourself for a moment and share the name aloud.
Rhoda Chernak.
Thanks. Ann, Paula?
Shelley King.
Thank you.
Don't touch, you just talk.
Any others?
Margaret Feldman.
Thank you. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Please rise if you are able as we join together for Kadisha Tome on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'yimeru. Amen.
So if you have challah out, my challah is still in the oven, I believe. So if you have challah, take a piece and we'll sing Motzi together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, Shabbat Shalom.
So we will close services with the Ha'erinenu since we heard some Torah chanted. So our eyes are enlightened to Torah, attach our heart to your commandments, unite our heart to love and revere your name so that we never be put to shame. So please be singing at home.
Shabbat Shalom. Before I unmute everybody, we've been having these breakout group Oneg Shabbats over the last few weeks. So if you want to hang out and talk with folks, you'll just be put in a room randomly. I invite you to stay on for another 2 minutes or so. If you don't want to stay on, just please say Shabbat Shalom, and then you can sign off because we want to make sure that no one is in a room by themselves. So Shabbat Shalom. Again, those who want to stick around for a breakout group, do so. And I'll unmute everyone now, or Becky will, and everyone can say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom, everyone. Good night, Isabel.
Shalom,
Night.
everyone.
And Larry.
Good to see everybody.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom, Fire
shalom.
Zone. Shabbat Shalom, Ross.
Thank
Shabbat Shalom, Kravitz family. Good luck tomorrow, Sophie.
Ezra too.
Thanks.
Shabbat
I
shalom.
can't say that though, so.
I guess people have places to go.
Really?
All right, so what I'm gonna do, okay, so I'm gonna go into, I think we'll do 2 breakout rooms. Let's see how many we have, like 22 folks here. So let's just do 2 breakout rooms. Actually, you know what? No, I'll do 2 and then we'll see how it goes. And then if we need to shift it around, we'll do that as well. So.
Okay.
Now, why is he like that? Okay, so we're gonna.
Darcy. I want to see Darcy.
So if it says to go to the breakout room, just go to it. Just hit yes. Okay. Can you do it, Lenore? There you go.
No, I'm leaving. I have to call my granddaughter.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Shalom.